Howdy, folks. Rugby World Cup. Women's rugby. England. France. Let me know if you can hear me. I've set up the computer in a different way today. But yeah, how's everybody doing? This has to be the game of the round. I know there was a pretty good one earlier, but England and France. Genuinely two of the best teams in women's rugby. So, yeah, if there's going to be a game to watch this weekend, for me, it's this one. I know the Black Ferns are playing tomorrow, but realistically, this one should be the business. How dare you not show the game? Mr. Allard, man. Mr. Morris, I should say. How's it going? What have I done with my beer? I swear it was there. There it is. On the beers and the ciggies. Not the ciggies, Schlanger. Good to see you, man. Long time no see. Haven't had a ciggy for a wee while. Adriana says, huge game today. Absolutely. This game's massive. Genuinely two of the best teams in the business. So, yeah. England's comp to lose, I reckon, Ellen, mate, for sure. They are just, as far as I'm aware, from what limited amount of women's rugby I've watched, which is not a small amount, but far from an expert, but they just seem a decent amount of everyone ahead of everyone else. Distracted, bro. Tony, you're at least 2 beers in, surely. Is it Nonne? Morning from Germany. How's it going, man? Still haven't had kickoff just yet. I've literally got you guys on 2 different laptops. I got ITV on this laptop and then you guys on this laptop. So, yeah, we'll see how this goes. Watching more women's footy and rugby, the standard is class. Bro, it's good. It's a fun watch. It's a class game. And the speed is generally pretty pleasing. I've been enjoying it. It's going to be certainly drier weather in this game at Whangarei tonight compared to the Ospreys and Stormers one that I watched this morning. Oh my God, that was just pissing down in Swansea. Unbelievable. Mark would never have a sneaky dart. Absolutely. England will take a bit of stopping, Mark. I agree with you, mate. I'll give you guys a time check in just a second. Just had kickoff on my one. I'm on ITV, so for what that's worth. Cardiff versus Scarlets of the week was piss poor. I didn't watch that one, bro. I did see the highlights though, but yeah, your boys haven't had a win yet. I'm sure you are aware. 20 seconds in, we're going to have scrum time. I didn't set it up for. I need something to lead on. I'm just going to get a rocket ship blanket. Maybe pull it up into a ball. I don't have a cushion. Okay. It's a little bit of back support. Getting old. Almost to 1 minute. First scrum's big for the French pack. They seem to be holding up all right. That seems pretty evenly matched. And they're going to reset it. Have I changed the room around? Have you ever seen the streams where Gaza is usually here? This is usually where they sit on the couch. I usually sit there on the computer. But I kind of wanted to sit on the couch today. So, I put the laptops on the coffee table instead. Indeed, this is a different spot. Yeah, I'm sitting in the Gaza chair, so the pressure's on to match the Gaza. I did see Gaza today. I went and had lunch with him. Morning from England, mate. It's 8 a.m. here, a bit nervous about the French. Is it too early for a beer, Ron? Never too early for a beer, mate. You can justify it. You can certainly justify it, but I still reckon England for this one by more than a try, but I mean, this is going to be a hell of a game. 8 a.m. in Ireland as well. Bro, it is 8 p.m. here. I think it's 12-hour difference at the moment, seeing as we're on daylight savings now, so yeah, it's kind of easy to work out. 2 minutes into this game. Elliot, bro, my old man's good. No, he's good. Yeah, they looked after my son because it was school holidays for the last 2 weeks. So they had him on Friday night along with my niece because they're the same age. So they hung out and they went to the swimming pool. So yeah, I think they had a bit of a good time. You've already got more viewers than our last podcast. Yeah, bro, that one didn't set the world alight, Tony. But one thing I will say is the women's game is still very much in the growth phase, if that's a thing. But yeah, so you're not going to get the same views that you would if you were talking about the All Blacks or the Box, Rugby Championship, that kind of thing. So maybe one day. I don't know if it'll ever have that same level of interest, but it's growing for sure, absolutely. And the more teams becoming professional will only help that fact. Imagine this game in like 2 World Cups from now. I reckon the players will look completely different. You know how you look back at players from like the 90s and then players now and you're like, man, like the wingers nowadays are heavier than the locks back in the old days. Like, yeah, I think it may be like that. Nov Mum's back in the French. The French are good. Like, if there's a team who's going to upset England, France would be the team to do it. Ellard, mate. Yeah, me and Tony from Distracted Sports have been doing a podcast. It's called 2 Cents Gets Distracted. Tony came up with that name. So if you think it's a great name, credit to Tony. And if you think it's a shit name, blame Tony. But yeah, it's on all the podcasting platforms, but it's also just on both our YouTube channels. We kind of alternate the episodes between his and mine. Whoa, England are looking dangerous. McDonald, who scored 4 tries last week, but she's been turned over. It's available, Ellard, on all your regular podcasting platforms. Spotify, Apple, Google, but also just, like I said, on the YouTube channels. It's to be expected in terms of general chat. I thought that was maybe our best so far. Yeah, no, I enjoyed that one. Like, previously, I think we'd felt a bit more structured with the whole we stick to the Rugby Championship, bang, 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 bang. But this one we just kind of shot the shit a bit more, I guess, eh? Previous 2 games, Ducks Quack. I watched the Americans and the Japanese. Obviously, spoiler alert if you guys don't know. Americans slowly built up some momentum in that game, didn't they? So that was pleasing to see. And then the previous one I didn't actually see. I haven't seen a second of it. The Aussies and the Scottish. I know the result, but I haven't seen the game at all. But obviously a big, big result. Does the women's game not like the rolling maul? England love a rolling maul. They're one of the best teams out. The professional teams seem to like the rolling maul more than the amateurs. That's just the same as the men's game, right? Like, anytime you see a tier 1 team take on a tier 2 team, it's a rolling maul, which is the killer. French 5 is so tall. I'll have to keep an eye out. They're certainly not the same. Like, in the women's game thus far, there's certainly not the same, like, how would you put it, like easy to spot kind of body shapes like the men. Like men's game, you can, not always, but often look at a guy and go, well, he's a lock. He's a prop. Type 5 are usually pretty easy to pinpoint. Maybe hookers not so much, but women's game doesn't have as much of that yet. But I think, as I said, if the game goes pro, the teams will be, what do you call it, min-maxing. You'll get the tallest of the tall playing lock, you know? First game was a cracker, Ducks Quack. Yeah, from what I heard about the result, it seems like one. But, yeah, it's a weird one with the games being mostly on in the day, because it's hard for me to, not... I was out with my kids all flipping day. So I just didn't have time to watch the game, eh? Which is kind of a piss poor excuse, because if this was the men's World Cup, I know for sure I would be like, to my wife, I would just say, we have to, we kind of have to stay home to watch the game. So, yeah, I don't know. Rugby League World Cup kicks off in 6 hours. Blaze, you need to ask Tony about that one. That's more his cup of tea, I think. Who in this England team are standout? I mean, most of the forward pack, to be honest. Emily Scarrett gets a lot of the kudos in the midfield because she also kicks a lot of the goals. And she's been like class for years. But if I had to say the biggest difference between any of the women's teams, it's the English forward pack. Like, I think they've got Poppy Cleal on the bench, and she's a proper unit. Abby Dow is also pretty of a lightning outside back as well. She broke her leg earlier in the year, but she's class. She's back playing now. Are the Pacific Islands good in the women? David, only Fiji that I've seen of. Fiji have a relatively new team. I don't think they've played more than like 30 international games, but they already scored 19 points against England, who were like the best team last week. And France, Italy, Wales, Scotland, Ireland, none of them scored 19 points against England in the Six Nations this year. So the fact that Fiji comes along and scores 19 points is very encouraging. Proper unit is an acceptable term. Instead of big unit, we'll go with proper unit. Oh, France have gone 6 phases on D, managed to win a turnover. Happy days. Still 0-0. Do you have any under 20 players you've got your eyes on? Sadly, I haven't been watching bugger all NPC. So this is kind of where I miss out. Like, I'll start watching Super Rugby. It's a bit of a shitty kick for touch. From the French, Drouin, I think it is, the 10, right? What was I saying? Yeah, I don't watch that much NPC. I watch really little because I'm already watching so much rugby. It tends to be one of the ones that I don't watch that much. So then I'll see all the Super Rugby sides and go, oh yeah, this person's new. And people will tell me in the comments, man, you should have seen this guy NPC last year. So that's why I rely on the audience to educate me on who to look out for. Who should I be looking out for? I'll flip the question around. Oh, I did see Bryn Gatland in St. Luke's Mall today, by the way. I'm much taller than him. Just FYI. I'm a tower over him. He was by himself. Theft, mate. Kia ora. How's it going? We're 10 minutes and 41 seconds into France against England. It's still 0-0. England have had a wee bit more pressure on, but a couple of penalties have just piggybacked France up the field. That's a way better touch finder from Drouin because the first one was an absolute stinker. You think that was a poor kick for touch? Where do you see one of Scotland's ones that went backwards? Ouch. Yep, Bryn Gatland. Is that what I said? Did I say something else? Max Spring I will be able to watch, I reckon. Not like Max Spring from France. Oh yeah, I see the French 5. Yeah, she's a bit of a beanpole, isn't she? Oh, the loose head from France with the offload. I don't know her name. Oh, their halfback's down. So Swiss. Novmum's eldest got a first part-time job working in a fish and chip shop. He's going to be richer than you. Nice. How old is your eldest? I got my first job delivering pamphlets when I was still very young. But that's not a full-time gig, so I didn't need to be any particular age. I used to blow all my money on video games. Turns 15. Yeah, I had a job when I was 15. I was working at the pork market, cleaning trucks that carried pigs. I got hit by a flying pig once at the pork market because they used to have a truck that would back up to the entrance to the butchery, and then they would hook up like a line between the truck and the butchery so that they could push the pigs down, almost like a flying fox. And one time I wasn't careful enough, I got whacked by a pig. A big corpse of a pig. Happy days. Women's World Cup, yes, John, mate. It's the La Crunch women's version. Springer, the Satyrs just signed him. Goodness me. Of course, the Satyrs signed him. Not like they don't have enough good outside backs. 10 hours a week, no, man. That's not bad. Sounds porky. Oh, it was porky. It was definitely porky. Used to ride my bike there, clean those stinky trucks out every morning, clean the outside, clean the inside. Just basically like a car wash, but for pork trucks. They employed 2 of us to do it for some reason. Bizarre. I was going to say something about Bryn Gatland, and I gave up and just said Bryn Gatland. Now this comment is going to be much longer than what you were originally going to say. Nice. Yeah, he was by himself. He was wearing like green and white shoes. I forget the brand. And yeah, my first reaction was, I'm significantly taller than this man. Don't know why I care. He's not a lock. I shouldn't be comparing myself to his height, but there was something oddly satisfying about knowing that I'm taller than Bryn Gatland. Don't know why. It's ridiculous, I know. Looks like France may have to make a substitution because Sansui's leg, or Sansus, if that's how you pronounce it, is going to have to go. Yep, she's going off on a stretcher. She's a bloody good player as well. She's like the DuPont of the women's game. So, yeah. Big loss, Mark is absolutely right. I mean, Bourdon's pretty good from what I've seen of her. Bryn Gatland, real life hotness out of 10. I wasn't judging him on his hotness, sadly. Only his height. The 21 looks like she's 12. Oh, France have just knocked it on. 12 minutes, still nil apiece. England have just kicked clear, but France have got a chance to run it back. That girl Bouillard is pretty lightning as well. She got baby face. Yeah, some players just do it. I remember Lut Diaka has looked. I mean, he looks like a man now, but he looked like a man boy for a very, very long time. He had like these real chubby cheeks. Bit of a kicking duel at the moment, but we've got a penalty somewhere. Offside. England get the penalty. They'll get piggybacked up into French territory. Yeah, I thought that was a French knock-on as well, but they're going back for a penalty anyway. Water breaks have got to go in the game. Pouring down at Connacht last night and a water break. Yeah. It was pouring down in the other game as well, the one from Wales, but it's one of those things, eh? Whenever you make a law or you change the law, there's always some weird consequence of that change. So the whole, we're taking the water breaks in hand thing, so they'll be scheduled. means that you get them in games that don't ordinarily need them. Because you have to have them. It's just me, or is the whole knock-on school a bit more lenient in the women's game? Distracted, mate. I find the refereeing is slightly different across the board. I genuinely remember watching the Women's Six Nations this year, at the start of the year. Do you remember when there was all those red cards for like high contact? In like Super Rugby when it was first starting, and the Premiership had a few as well. Like I would see the exact same thing in the women's game, and they were just like, "Nah, not a red card." They were just refereeing it slightly differently. Couple of reds for the Aussie girls. Yeah, I heard about that, but they still managed to hang on at the death. I'm supposed to be taking notes, and I'm just sitting there talking bollocks. I haven't taken a note yet. I guess it's not been anything that noteworthy. Apart from Sansuis going off injured. Where do you watch, David? It depends on where you're at. If you're in the UK, ITV's got it for free. I think Stan in Australia, Spark in New Zealand, although I'm watching on ITV with a VPN, personally. Oh, Marley Packer with the offload. Here we go. England have got numbers. Ooh, I don't know if the cut-up pass was on there, but anyway. Probably the longest I've seen England and France playing without scoring ever. Yeah, it's been a tentative start. Well, England have got advantage, so they should get at least 3 out of this, if nothing else. Oh. Yeah, one of the fridge players is knocked out. Goodness me. That's a KO. There's another one of the French players down. Yeah. The commentators just said worrying times for France. I don't think they're going to show that again. I don't know what happened, but she was out cold. Just back made some bacon sandwiches. Good man, Ellen. We had bacon. My missus cooked up some pasta with bacon for dinner, so team bacon. Oh, here we go. Oh, yep. If you tackle somebody's hip with your head, there's a good chance you get knocked out. The French halfback, Elid, who's a real star, went off with a leg injury. Menagier, the number 8, is also going off because she just knocked herself out cold. Head on hip, yeah, not pretty. Will we see any cards? No, Mum. Probably, if you had to put money on it these days. I would say there's more games with cards than without. But you never know. Another French replacement's going to come on. Oh. Need to refresh my stream. It's just shit itself. Oh no. Don't tell me ITV's detecting VPNs today. Don't do it, ITV. Don't do it. France 2 subs after 16 minutes. Yeah, not ideal, mate. Certainly not the way they would have wanted to start this game. Injuries are tempering your hopes, Ducks Quack. Yeah. It just means towards the end of the game you're losing that kind of extra option, eh? To bring on some fresh legs, especially against that England pack who were pretty ferocious. Oh, son of a... I need to get my stream back going, folks. Excuse me while I do this. If anything happens, let me know, because my stream's not going at the minute. This is what I get for using a VPN. ITV seem to be cracking down. Obviously, I should be paying Spark Sport like Tony is, our local broadcaster. I can't bring myself to do it. The Japan 15 beat the Wallabies. Yeah, what was the score? 52-48. Madness, eh? I did see the result. I didn't see the game because it wasn't being shown here, but yeah. Defense coaches maybe not not that pleased with that one. But if you wanted kind of pure entertainment value, that's probably your game. Right, let's see if I can get this back working. It's interesting just how many teams. I mean, Tony and I talked a little bit about it on the podcast. How many teams are going prior to the World Cup with these like second string teams? The Aussie A team, South African A team, the All Blacks 15, the Irish have got their emerging team. They're going to play the Ireland A team against our A team. So everyone just seems to be wanting to keep as many players blooded as possible. Peacock has the women's rugby up in the USA. Is Peacock free to air? If I can't get ITV working, I'll have to switch over, but I think I'm about to get it back on. Hopefully. After logging out and logging back in. There we go. I'm back up. I'm at 18 minutes. England are 11 phases in. This is their bread and butter stuff, close range stuff from 1 meter out. Oh, Peacock is paid. What a bugger. Peacock's $5 a month's pretty reasonable. How the hell did France hold England out there? Have they got another injury though? Come on. Deshay, the loose head looks to have an ankle injury or something. She's getting back up though. ITV and BBC block some VPN IP addresses if they're used a lot. Usually works if you reconnect the Yeah, I just literally did that. I tried just refreshing, it didn't work, so I disconnected, switched over to a different server, and I'm back up. So it cost me 2 minutes. Dude, I've got Spark. Feel free to do a live stream at yours. Maybe we should do a live stream for like the final or something. That could be fun. Aussie Scotland game was close. Yeah, I did hear about the result, but I have not seen it. I'll have to go back and watch some highlights. Right, England have got advantage again. Surely this time they take the 3 if nothing comes of this. Get some points on the board. This is a World Cup match. Come on. Still refuse to believe Red Roses are on a 26-game winning streak. Man, the Red Roses are nuts. But I mean, it helps to be a fully professional team. No, they're not. They're not going for threes. I'm 45 seconds behind. Probably makes sense. USA got it comfortable. Yeah, I did see the USA game. I did. Depressing for Scotland fans to have losing the games in the last minutes. Yeah, but I mean, at least their team's getting better. Oh man, France's defense is brutal. That's another turnover. They just keep doing this, eh? USA was sloppy. They did start the game kind of poorly, didn't they? They were down at half time, but they finally got rolling in the second half. Oh yeah, not out enough, Mum, you're right. Uh-oh. Wee bit of a line break. Another advantage for England. England have got to get some points here, surely. They're going to go for touch again. No, they don't seem to want to go for sticks, eh? They just keep opting for touch. Back their forwards to get the job done. I guess they figure they can wear them down. Can hear some French fans in the crowd. Yeah, Rush, I think I'm a bit behind. I'm at 21:35. But I'm on ITV rather than whichever other broadcaster. Plus, YouTube adds a little bit of a delay. This time they don't maul it, they go to the backs. Here we go. Quick ball. Nah, now they're going backwards. How many phases is that? 5. France just keep tackling. Man, French defense is impressive. Still nothing. Really vicious French defense, George. Yeah, right, mate. Absolutely. I mean, the English attack right now is not particularly imaginative. So the French are kind of just able to eat it up. It's a lot of kind of one-off runner stuff. But how long can you keep tackling? Paul and Distracted reckons there's a try coming. Well, they got advantage now anyway. they can do something crazy. And there they go. Had to happen, man. It had to come. Like 13 plus phases. Scare it. Yep. She's like, I don't know. She's like the poster girl of the team, so. Pretty inevitable. Yeah. I mean, you can stop it for a while. But apparently not indefinitely. Is she going to get the conversion? She's nailed that one. 7-0. Right, we've got some points on the board after 25 odd minutes. There we go. The refs are pretty rigged, not rigged but biased. Joy Neville, where's she from? She's Irish, right? The female refs are not up to par yet. They need more games plus years. You might be right. I don't know. They probably just don't get anywhere near the same amount of games to ref as the men do, right? Pip reckons it's going to open up a bit now. You might be right, Pip. Joy Neville used to play for Ireland. Right, I think I had heard that somewhere. $84 tackles to 14. Possession 76%. That's mental. %76% possession is crazy. She's better than most of the male refs in the URC. Yeah, I don't mind. Who's the Scottish ref? The woman? She's better than the Scottish dude ref. Mike Adamson. She's better than him. Holly? Is it Holly? Holly Davidson? I feel like she's definitely better than Mike Adamson, but they're setting the bar pretty low. Holly Davidson, right? Yeah. Yeah, she's not bad. Right, what can France do? They've actually got some ball down England's half. They win a line out that the English actually contested as well. Interestingly, that Joy Neville just busted out some French there. I have read that that's one of the areas where the French players are kind of behind their male counterparts. Like, across the board, they probably don't speak as good English as the male French players, just because the male French players are exposed to English refereeing a lot more. So, yeah, she yelled at it twice in English, nothing happened, and then the ref switched to French, and she got an immediate response. So, interesting. French 5 is a big unit. She is a rather towering unit, isn't she? I wonder how tall she is. Somebody tell me how tall the French 5 is. Is she taller than me? I feel like I'm pretty tall. I'm certainly taller than Bryn Gatland. I was watching top 14 last week and the French ref was calling use it in English. Right. Interesting. But that's what I mean. Most of the French players in the top 14, or at least the international guys, even if they're not confident enough to do an English interview, they certainly understand basic commands on the pitch in English. But yeah, I don't think the women players get as much exposure. Towering unit is another interesting one. Tell us more about how you're taller than Bryn Gatland. Oh, you better believe I'm taller than Bryn Gatland. I'm a lot taller than Bryn Gatland. Now, he's a much better rugby player than me. Probably earns a lot more than me. Probably lives in a nicer suburb than me. Probably drives a nicer car than me. Probably has a bigger house than me. But I'm certainly taller. He'll probably live longer because if you're shorter, you tend to live longer than taller guys. Although Clint Eastwood's like almost 100 and he's huge. She's 187. Okay. She's not as tall as me. Thank God for that. Isn't English taught at French schools? I'm not sure if they have to learn English or not. I mean, English is taught in China. And I lived there for a long time, and you better believe nobody speaks English on the street. Well, it depends on what city you go to, but yeah. Henderson Pack and Save is the worst store ever. Which one, Schlanger? The one down by the West City or the one on Lincoln Road? It's taught but not well. There you go, George. Same kind of in China. They learn it for exams, but not really for practical use. Lincoln Road. I was there the other day. It's not bad. He's like 5'10" or something, which isn't really that tall for a male, not when you have a 6'2" husband. Yeah. 5'10" is probably like pretty decent height. It's like average, right? A little bit above average, maybe? New Zealand men don't have the hugest record for height compared to like the Netherlands. Bullard's kick was a bit of an average one, so yeah, the France are way back down their own end. They're going to be under the pump once again. Tim, mate, good morning. How's Kobe's birthday? Is it today? Tomorrow? Sebastian, mate, how's it, bro? We're almost half an hour into France and England and it's 7-0. But it's been, you'd have to say, mostly France. The only thing France are really leading are injuries. They've had 2 players substituted already. Welsh people are traditional short as fuck, says Elliot. Let's see if I can outshort you. NZ male average height. 5'9", 171. Average person is 171. Man is 177. Okay, so yeah, when they said bring whatever's like 5'10", it's probably not too far away. Yeah, 5'9". Pretty much. Yeah, 5'10" is pretty much the average Kiwi guy. Wales man average height. Oh, I think it just says UK. It doesn't separate by Wales. That's disappointing. That's disappointing. 5'7" in Wales. Oh, okay. You found it faster than I did. That means Kiwis are slightly taller. Darnell forgot this game was on. Well, we're half an hour in, so you've still got more than half the game to go. But to be honest, It's looking like England. Lim report, mate. Second half. We're still in the first half. We still got just over half the game to go. What time did the game kick off? 8 o'clock, man, which is a weird kickoff time. It's usually 7 in NZ, but kicked off at 8, which kind of works for me because my kids were pretty much going to bed by 8. So, yeah, can't complain too much. Today, mate, taking on Twitter. Can't say for obvious reasons, but having a good day. A busy one. Oh, good stuff, Tim, mate. Wish him happy birthday from me. Hope he has a cracking one. I haven't checked my Twitter, sorry, but no, good stuff. Happy birthday, Kobe. My son's birthday's in a couple of months. I'm not sure what we're going to do. Something. Do any of the teams have female coaches? Did France used to? I feel like France used to, but then they switched to a guy. Alan's birthday soon. Good stuff, man. You have to go out, go for a few beers. Eight o'clock kickoff, probably to suit the French and English TV audiences. Yeah, I guess that makes sense, eh? This is the biggest game of the pool stages for both these teams. Next podcast with me and Tony will be probably Monday next week. We'll probably film it. Going to Amsterdam on Wednesday. I love it how you guys can just like go to Amsterdam. I'm just going to go to Amsterdam. And it's like not a big deal. Well, if I want to go to another country, my closest option is like Australia. It's like 3 hours away. 3.5 hours on a plane. I go to Hamilton. Go see Nov Mum in Hamilton. Darnell's birthday today. Happy birthday, bro. Cheers, man. Yeah, grab a few beers. You've earned it. Survived another year. French defence is holding firm under relentless pressure. I mean, the fact they're only 7 points down is very encouraging. Like, they can still sneak a game like that for sure. Or the South Island, yeah, I suppose so. You could go to one of the more fancier places, like you go Queenstown. Yay for Hamilton. What suburb am I? I'm in Henderson, man. I'm in Henderson, West Auckland. A short flight to Fiji. How long is a short flight to Fiji? Isn't it still a few hours? I don't think it's a short one. Go to the Cook Islands. My grumpy neighbour's from the Cook Islands. She's a very grumpy Pākehā lady in her 50s. And I know she runs a business in the Cooks. I'd hate to accidentally give her some money. Has a women's side ever lost a pool game and gone on to win it? That is a good question, which I do not know the answer to. Not sure. Is she the cat lady? Ellen, she's the cat lady. Yes. She's just not very, she's just not very courteous. Taking a 4-hour flight to where? Lanzarote? I thought my geography's alright, but I don't know what that means. Where's that? A Tui's drink at that now. We hardly even get Tui's over here, do we? Maybe in Australia you do. I'm having Tui, which is a little bit different. Five minutes left in the first half. Still only 7 points on the board. commentator just said what I said. Come on, bro. Get your own line. The Canary Islands. Oh, Lanzarote. Okay. I feel like the Canary Islands is not a big on the list of New Zealanders who travel to Europe. It tends to be big cities. London, Paris, Rome, Barcelona, places like that. I might be wrong. There might be loads of Kiwis there. I feel like there's probably more in London though. Oh, England almost stole France's line out. Not that far from their own goal line. Kiwi I work with from Plymouth. New Plymouth. Probably New Plymouth. Low scoring game. Yeah, it is a low scoring game. It's a bit of an arm wrestle. I mean, England have had loads of time down France's end, but they just keep getting turned over. People are saying, what a hit. What hit? Oh, yes. I've just seen it. Boomfa. Nice. Uh-oh. There's a bot. Uh-oh. Here we go. Go to Hawaii or California. I think my brother's been to Hawaii. I don't think he's been to California. Time for the... Oh, they said that tackle was a penalty. Oh. It seems you're the only admin alert. I mean, Theft Parrot was here briefly, but he may have disappeared. England are still going for touch. This tracker says, fuck off, that was fine. Apparently lifted above the horizontal. It looks like Wellington versus Canterbury final for the NPC. That'll be a big final. I haven't seen any of the final. The semi-final. Gaza was thinking Bay of Plenty might get it done. Canary Islands are full of Brits and Germans looking for hot weather. Fair enough. I thought it was like Ibiza. Ibiza is the one place I know Brits go to for like sun and party. Go to Vegas and gamble. Yeah, I don't gamble. A couple of my mates have been to Vegas though. Playing poker. Even clean dump tackles are penalised these days. Safety, 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 mate. England has knocked it on after 8 phases. Goodness me. England, they're not like at 100%, are they? A minute left in the first half. Oh no, there's a penalty. Okay. They're still not going for 3. England could have had 9 points at least. Kickable. At least. Now they're finally going to take a shot at goal. Hooray for shots at goal. French Days on point, yeah, I had the same thing. Hey, Junaid! A different setup, yeah. It's actually kind of killing my back. I don't really want to sit like this because the game is forward. I need to maybe move this laptop screen a little bit forward. Move this one a little bit forward. Can I still read that far? Are my eyes that bad? I can still read it. I've been leaning forward for the last hour. It's starting to do my back in. But it's nice to be on the couch for a change. Okay. 10 points for England before half time. How's it going, Junaid, mate? I need to update the score. 10 points. With a place kicker like Scarrett, I'm surprised they haven't taken their penalty options. Yeah, well, I mean, I think she didn't kick that well last week, did she? But yeah, still, it's a bizarre one. Right, there we go. That's half time. I mean, I know this game's got big billing. That wasn't the most enthralling first half ever, was it? France, they didn't really fire much of a shot. They weren't allowed to. And England certainly weren't as slick as we know they can be. I'll check the stats in just a tick. Get my kids to give me a massage tomorrow. Let them jump on my back. They would do it too. You know what's been the best investment, toy-wise? Has been $2.50 foam swords from Kmart. We beat the living shit out of each other with these foam plasticky swords. They're great fun. And I actually have a lot of fun dueling with my kids. And we got scenarios where like they'll be the two baddies and I'll be the goodie. And I wrap like a sleeping mat thingy around my arm as a shield as well. And I'll take on two kids. I got my reach and I whack them. And if I whack your arm, then you're not allowed to use that arm. Not allowed to hit above the shoulders. Got to have a bit of rugby rules in there. Otherwise you get whack in the eye and stuff. But no, it's great fun. Great fun. They're ferocious. Absolutely ferocious. So, yeah. Arm wrestle, says Gareth. Yeah, that's probably the way to describe it. Kicking in general is the weak part of the women's game. Yes, I agree. Place kicking and just general kicking out of hand doesn't get the same distance, doesn't have the same accuracy. I've seen just generally more like stinker kicks for touch than you would in the men's game, generally. Like a higher percentage of them. But, yeah. Henderson McDonald's is also terrible. What are my thoughts on it? Do you mean the one at West City or the one on Lincoln Road? England normally score most of the points in the last quarter as they grind teams down, eh? Well, not in the last quarter of the... Oh, you mean the last quarter of the game. Okay, that might make sense. Can you make your children give you a massage as their allowance? Well, my children don't get an allowance, so probably not. Not yet. You love the kid advice as a single man. Well, I mean, I can only speak from my own experience. But generally, being asked to play some games, my children may be still awake, some games kind of suck. Like where you have to pretend to be like this toy and they're going to be that toy. Like you can do that for a while, but it gets kind of boring. And then they change the rules and shit, and it gets kind of, I don't know. You be this guy, I'll be that guy, and then no. You can play it for a while, but it gets kind of boring. But getting a foam sword and just beating the shit out of each other, that's gold. It lasts for ages. I can play that quite happily for a long time. Junaid, if you have Spark Sport, you can watch it. Or if you've got a VPN, you can watch it on ITV like I'm doing. April, how's it going? April Tui. Yeah, we're watching the Le Crunch between, the Le Crunch is always France and England, isn't it? But it's been pretty lopsided, although the score's only 10 points. I'm about to have a look at some stats, and I feel like it's going to be very complimentary to the English, but Yeah, possession 73-27. Territory 31-69, all to England. Defenders beaten 14-1. But interestingly, clean break, which is often a telling one, only 1-0 to England. So yeah, the French defence, they've made 127 tackles to 35, but they've only conceded 10 points. So there you go. What's a good VPN? And what's a good VPN? Well, I use Express. Although, to be honest, earlier I got kicked off. ITV busted me, so I had to switch to a different server. But it's working fine now. So, all honesty from me, hopefully. Is Stalio here as well? No way. Where's Stalio? Oh, things are going good, man, Stalio. How's things with you? Distracted. Five New Zealand dollary dues. I'll have to grab another beer, man. 5 for the half that was 5 out of 10. Yeah, that was like pretty dominant, but not clinical, I guess. That's what you'd have to say. You gave a tip. Holy shit, really? Bro, I am sorry. Where did I not... Bro. Where? I apologize. Or are you yanking my crank? I genuinely can't see it. I haven't done a stream in too long. How do I check? Oh, you did too. Been a while. How's the game so far? I'm sorry, man. I just didn't pick up on the notification. I'm not used to this setup. That's what I'll blame. No, things have been good. What I'll say, Stalio, bro, is that it's been school holidays, so my brain's probably a bit frazzled. I've been home with my son for the last 2 weeks. This game, what can I say? England have been dominant, but yeah, they've got all the stats that if you just heard them, like they've made the French make 1 million tackles, but they've only scored 10 points. So they haven't put the game to bed yet, but they've had the best of the play thus far anyway. $0.02, are you good? I am good. What happened to my wife? My wife, unfortunately, has to work from the office 3 days a week. And I kid you not, because she goes to work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then she's supposed to be home on Thursday. I'm just going to swear for a little bit. On fucking Wednesday night at like 11:30, our internet just cut out. So no internet. So no internet means she's got to go fucking back to the office, doesn't she? So Thursday, Friday, she's in the office. Friday, I was waiting for the guy from Chorus, who's like the lines company, to come and fix it. He gives me a call. Admittedly, I logged the job on Thursday, and he came on Friday, so it's not too bad. He's like, oh, I'll come between 10 and 11. He showed up at like 1. So at least it's fixed. Internet's fixed. But it just meant my missus, instead of having 2 days at home, had no days at home. So me and the little fella. Anyway, I've got some trivia. Trivia. What do we got? Okay. It's a New Zealand kind of personality history question. What happened to my internet? Oh, you know how there's the ONT, like the optical network terminal, whatever it's called, on the wall for your fiber, and that thing has to plug into your power outlet. That cable it just died. The guy said, yeah, most of them are like 4 or 5 years old now, so it just died. He just put a new one in, and it worked. So yeah, I didn't touch anything. What are we saying? No internet is such a pain. April 2, absolutely. It's hard to run a YouTube channel with no internet. I found it very difficult. What was Edmund Hillary's job? That's the trivia question. Edmund Hillary's job. What was it? Do you guys know? If you're not a New Zealander, you may not know Edmund Hillary. He was the first guy, along with Tenzing, to climb Mount Everest. Accountant is incorrect. Beekeeper is correct. Well done, Jacopo. First prize. Distracted also got it, but you're too slow. Likewise with Ragnar. Good job for getting it right, but bronze medal. Stripper would have been interesting. Your dad doesn't have internet, April, so my dad wouldn't be able to stand it. Best coffee place in Henderson Schlanger. I don't know. I don't tend to buy that many coffees out. They're too expensive. Excuse me for being a cheapskate. But, yeah. Pretty expensive. Is that even a job? Well, I guess if you sell honey, yes. I'm just going to grab myself another beer. I'll be back momentarily. Remember I said foam swords? These are the ones. You get these things from Kmart. You can give them a real good whack. Nice and soft. Whack, whack. Yeah, fun times. Fun times whacking your kids with swords. They get to whack me back, so it's all fair. He must have hated those bees so much he decided to climb the tallest mountain in the world to get away from them. That's a good point. You might be right. Lydia says hi. Hello, Lydia. See you in a few days. 2 cents one-on-one on how to save money. Honestly, bro, I'm just a cheapskate, I mean, we did actually have a coffee out today, but yeah, my missus had a voucher for like 2 for 1. So she got it from Coffee Club. The voucher was 2 for 1, so we got $7 for 2 coffees. But I can't imagine paying $7 each. I can't imagine paying $14 for 2 coffees. Excuse my language, what a fucking ripoff. $7 for 2 coffees. Give me a break. Not a chance. Buy one for your grumpy neighbour too, take out some stress. Yeah, I don't know what it is with her. I can't get on her good side. I don't know what it is. Part of me, and I may be very wrong, but she gets on with the Indian wife who lives next to me on that side, whose name is Gayatri. She gets on well with her. She gets on well with my wife. She never talks to Eddie, the other neighbor, and she doesn't seem to like me. And she doesn't like my kids. So I don't think she likes guys very much. But maybe it's just me absolving myself of any blame. Maybe I am just a jerk. I don't know. I don't think so, because I get on well with all my neighbors. Genuinely. You know, I can start a channel with saving money. I cut my electricity usage with the frugal ways. Yeah. I can't imagine. I went to Costco the other day. New Zealand we got our first Costco supermarket. It opened like a month ago, less than a month ago. And I went there because they've had I got the membership card a few months ago because their petrol station opened first. And it's just down the road from me. It's not far at all. And there's a playground near there, which I often take my kids to. And they have very cheap petrol compared to everywhere else. So being a cheapskate, if I go to the playground, I get petrol at the same time. But I went to the actual supermarket when it opened. I went there 2 days ago. A lot of that shit's not very cheap. A lot of like the fruit and vegetables. My local fruit shop sells them cheaper than that. And you don't have to buy like 4 kilos worth. But I saw people with like fucking trolleys full. And I was like, you guys are nuts. Why are you buying so much stuff? Anyway. 34 like 78 watching. Yeah, people like the stream. Like the stream. it distracted just a minute. You want me to come around and charm them? Abby, you're great with old bitches. Yeah, you should come around and charm her with your charming ways. I'm sure she will adore you. The neighbor in front of her, Kathy, is about the same age, and she loves me. She bought like little trinkets for my kids. Maybe she doesn't love me. She loves my kids, but she obviously doesn't have any grudge against me. Eddie came to my house and asked for help with his paperwork for Immigration New Zealand or whatever it was. Like, honestly, I get on with everybody else. The game is about to start. Yeah, I'll do one more little bit of trivia. I got the second beer cap. It says, what does bon voyage mean in French? Well, that's a good one, seeing as we're about to have the French second half start. Oh, look at that. Just killed some kind of like fruit fly. Gross. Murder on the TV. How much is petrol at the moment? Bro, cheap one at Costco is $2.41 a litre. Goodbye, good travels, good luck. Nobody's got the exact translation, but Pip has said it. Apparently it says good journey. Good journey. Doesn't quite have the same ring to it in English as it does in French. Well done, Pip. $2.35 in Wellington. Oh man, that's cheaper than what you can get it here. But Auckland, I think, has a extra kind of fuel surcharge, doesn't it? Right, I'm 40 seconds into the second half. I've not taken a lot of notes on this game. Should steal your hat and tell you to jog on, mate. Yeah, 127.35 was the same stats I had as well. Where's this being placed though? It's up in Whangarei. Yeah, how long can the French keep these tackles up is a good question. We don't usually hear your clock, do we? Can you hear my clock? It's probably just me playing with the pens. Sorry, the microphone picks up everything. Can you and Distracted Sports do a watch along together? Yeah, we should, bro. We'll go around to Tony's house. It's easier at his house than my house. I have to lock my wife up on the other side of the house to do a watch along here. Is it being played anywhere near that angry volcano? Have I not been reading the news? Do we have an angry volcano in New Zealand right now? White Island was the last one, wasn't it? There's lots of volcanoes in Auckland, I know that. Stalio, Gaz is good, man. Yeah, Gaz is good. I saw him today. Went around for lunch. Did he have much to say? I was a bit disappointed with Auckland and the NPC. I have to lock my wife. She's not literally locked up on the other side of the house. It's just, this house is not that big. Living room and kitchen over there. And then like bedroom, laundry, bathroom on that side. So she's in a bedroom. There's no other room for her to go to. Sadly. Stadio loves what happened to Auckland and the NPC. Yeah, Gaza wasn't that chuffed, to be honest. Neither was I. I didn't watch it, but I saw the result and I've seen the highlights. Pretty brutal. But Wellington to look in the business, aren't they? The most likely to explode in the world at the moment? What? What volcano is this? NZ volcano. Where? Is it Ruapehu or what? Oh, Taupo. Oh, no way. That's quite far from me. Wow. Yeah, I mean, that volcano is a big unit. Speaking of big units, like, if you've seen that lake in Taupo, it's massive. It was caused, I believe, by a volcano erupting many, many years ago. Like 1,000 years ago or something. Isn't that the one where, they have reports that, like, in China, the sky went dark, like, at the same time as apparently that volcano erupted, like, 1,000 years ago or something? Yeah, it's a big volcano. Big volcano. Distracted just hit the same thing I said. There we go. Yeah, Auckland and Whangarei for all the games. So Eden Park, the Northland Stadium, Waitakere Stadium. I feel like there's one more. Maybe it's just the three. Tomorrow is Waitakere Stadium, but it's sold out, so Tony and I can't go because we're too disorganised to get tickets. Taupo is a super volcano. Most recent one to on Earth. Yeah, it's a big unit. It's a big volcano. Like, if you've been to that lake, like, if I took a photo of that lake, I don't know that you'd be able to identify it as a lake and not necessarily part of the ocean because it's a big lake. I don't think you can see the other side. Why only 2 cities? I just think because the crowd numbers are low, bro. Yeah, they don't get the same attendances. Like, can you imagine England and France at a World Cup? If it was the men's, this is a sellout for days. It's just, they're still building it, eh? One of the England forwards used to live near Whangarei, is that right? Up north, nice weather. Yeah, it's a caldera. If it blows, it could spoil a lot of folks' view. Lake view not looking as good as it was a wee while ago, eh? It's such a big lake that when people cycle around it, it's seen as a big achievement. Yeah, it's a big lake. It's definitely New Zealand's biggest lake. It's a big lake. The fact that it was caused by a volcano is kind of disconcerting. Right, France actually get a chance after a scrum penalty to have some ball in England's half. Can they do anything here? Look at a map of New Zealand and it's the big hole in the North Island. Yeah, it's a big hole. I can't overemphasize that it's a big hole. What's going on in the game, Sinead? Man, like, England knock it on. They concede a scrum penalty. France's line out is messy. Yeah, France have just made an absolute meal of that. Can't believe I'm tuning into an England game. Come on, France, nice and sleazy. How's it going, mate? Has it stopped raining in Wales yet? I watched that game with the Ospreys. What was your last night? Mine this morning, and it was piddling down. Both teams fielding the strongest teams? Yeah, man. These are two pretty strong teams for sure. I don't think they've left many names out because this is the big game of the round for both. The Black Ferns playing. Black Ferns are playing tomorrow. This one's England and France. This is the worst game of the tournament so far. Often that's the way with the games with the biggest billing, eh? I went to Fiji, Samoa at the Rugby World Cup 2011, which on paper was like, man, this is going to be excitement for days, and it was god awful. So sometimes that's just the way it goes. It rarely stops raining in Wales. Out on the full. Goodness me. Yeah, France April 2 are not playing their best at all. What note do I write? Knock-ons. Out on full. Messy scrum. Line out. Summarises the last 7 minutes. Watched Fiji France in 03 World Cup game, was disappointing except for a Rapini Thalfal try. He tends to be good for a try at some point, doesn't he? Oh, here we go. Maybe England here on 50 minutes. If England score here, I think it's done, but that's a knock-on from Scarra. Goodness gracious me. Are the French players just knackered? Maybe, but what is the England? What's Emily Scarra knocking that one on for? That was a pleasant evening weather-wise in Swansea. Goodness gracious. Yeah, head in his hands from the English coach. Unbelievable. Run meters, 254 to 90. Osprey's game, I think Milo got man of the match. He did. He did really well. He kicked his goals, didn't he? The rain is why Wales is green. Same with New Zealand. I never knew, I've mentioned this before, but I never knew grass was not green all year round in other parts of the world until I moved abroad. I was like, holy shit, why is the grass brown? Yeah. I saw it in Australia and then I saw it in China. I was like, oh my god. Isn't grass always supposed to be green? Anyway, it rains a lot in Auckland and New Zealand generally. Samoa versus England, is that league? Thoughts on the best mulch brand? For compost wise, I've been buying the Bunnings stuff because it's, as I go back to being a cheapskate, it's cheaper than the Mitre 10 stuff. I live in Queensland. Green grass is a privilege. Yeah, nice and sleazy, mate. Family's doing good. My son's back to school next week, which is happy days. Grass is not always green, Starleo. Nope, it needs water to stay green. Grass is not always greener on the other side, indeed. When's the Distractor going to teach me about Cricket League? I think I'm alright with cricket. I certainly know nothing about League. The only thing I don't know about cricket is the current players' names. But I used to follow cricket a lot more. It's a knock-on from the French. They can set up some master set play here, surely the English. Yeah, attacking scrum. Nemo, indeed. This is a platform. They need to do something here. Do they show the combined scrum weights for the women's? No, that was something that Tony noticed. They do not. They don't declare the weights. So, you don't know. Is Kiwi Lads commentating on any of the games? I'm not sure. Is Kiwi Lads doing the women's? I don't actually know. He does everything, so I would not be surprised. He's doing the rugby league, by the look of things. They stick into the men's. It certainly gets a lot more views. So that's where the money's at. It makes economic sense. That's why I don't do videos on the NPC, because you get paid $1. If that. Right, England didn't manage to pull a rabbit out of the hat with their attacking scrum, but they've still got advantage, so they can grind France into submission like they did last time. They're going through some phases. They're a metre out. I don't know if the backs are going to see it here, but they've got advantage. They might as well. Nah, stripped in the tackle, but back for the advantage. Goodness me. Did the Black Ferns last week? Oh, fair enough. I think the Black Ferns are the biggest draw here in NZ for sure. $51 likes. Can we get to 80 likes? 80 likes might be a bridge too far, but yeah, thank you for the reminders, Junaid, mate. If you guys have not liked the stream, drop a like on it, because YouTube loves engagements. Two minutes behind. I might be. I'm just going on ITV. So I could refresh to see if I can get any further ahead. I risk losing my stream, but I will do it. I will refresh. Don't tell me what to do. I'm telling you what to do. Like the stream. Please. Magic word. Oh, I'm missing some handbags because I'm refreshing the bloody stream. I've made a terrible mistake. I don't think that got me any further ahead. I've probably dropped further behind. Stream the NPC final next week? I don't know. I haven't done any NPC. Oh, there is handbags. I'm that far behind that I've only just caught the handbags now. I think England's frustrated because they just can't score. France are frustrated from just defending all day. Still waiting for the generic subscribe to pop up on my videos. If I always forget to ask people to subscribe, the odds of me editing in a subscribe is even lower, eh? I'm very slack with that kind of stuff. Joy Neville. Not having a bar of the handbags. Come on, Joy. It's the best moment of the game thus far. Can't have the generic subscribe pop up without generic hit the bell pop up too. You actually have to edit that in. There's no like shortcut to doing that. So yeah, I don't do it. I try not to edit if I can avoid it. I do every now and again. Team of the weeks and stuff get editing, but very, very little gets edited from me. Lydia's making all sorts of derogatory comments about these players. Why are women so hard on other women? I don't know, but that's not just the women, eh? I mentioned to Tony when I saw him last time, but when I bumped into two guys that I knew from my old job in the city the other day, I mentioned about the Women's World Cup, and neither of them had anything good to say about it. So not a bad result for the Stormers. That game was piddling down, bro. Absolutely. Lydia is Tony's better half. Alright, next time there's a stoppage, I'm going to go grab a bottle. Position and territory like horrendous for France, I would imagine. I don't think this side has handling errors, sadly, but it like it's 70+% possession for England. '71 possession, 73 territory, like it's huge. But yeah, that one doesn't have like knock-ons and stuff. Randy Viper. Hey, bro. Let's go France. Bonjour, Maki trivia time. You missed the trivia, bro. We had Edmund Hillary trivia and French language trivia. Do I like Rita Ora? I don't. I saw she was singing at the opening ceremony, but I don't know who she is. Yeah. Sad. But cheers, Randy, bro. I may know her songs because I do listen to ZM on the bloody car radio. So I hear all the most popular songs. But I don't know most of the artist names, sadly. I'm an old, sad old man. On Fridays, ZM plays, they don't call them oldies, but they play old songs. So those are the ones I know more of the artists. Alright, there's a stoppage. Oh, I'll be back in a second. What do I drink out of? I broke my shot glass. Oh, this one. Okay, that's fine. I need something to snack on if I'm going to drink this. What do I eat? What do I have that's salty, folks? Do I have anything salty? I do have a slice of Hawaiian pizza that my kids didn't finish yesterday. Maybe we go with that. Oh, goodness me. This game's kind of a drag. I haven't opened this yet. I got this for my birthday. It's Chinese alcohol. It's only 40%, so relatively low compared to the last stuff. I have not yet tried it. Yeah. I haven't even smelled it yet. But, yeah, 40% is the low stuff for the Chinese stuff. It's usually like 50. Abby Dow's on. She's an exciting player. She's she's very nimble. Rice wine. It's made from sorghum. It's generally pretty bad stuff, but I figured we might as well. Oh, go Abby Dow. Immediate impact. Bloody hell! I opened this bottle and plastic's cracking everywhere. Look at this. Is that supposed to happen? What the hell? It's got... What is this? Is it supposed to have some like fucking cardboard just shoved into the top of the bottle? That can't be right. Amazing how she managed to come back from her injury. Absolutely. I think this is a voucher. It comes with like a voucher to get... I think you get one yuan off if you buy it with this voucher. I think, if my Chinese is good enough, but... Wow, interesting. Okay. That's new. Never seen that before. Dr. Kismet, this game's been a little bit of a drag. I'm not going to lie. Let's see if we can open this bottle. I have opened it. The smell is actually not too bad. Nice and sleazy. Someone did try to send me some brains because I'd never tried brains, but I think it was seized by New Zealand Customs because I never got the bottle, the cans, sadly. This actually, for Chinese alcohol, this actually smells not too bad. I think we need to do this because yeah, I'm just gonna pour a little bit. Scarrett's just nailed a penalty, so I think this game is pretty well in the bag for the English. I cannot see France scoring 13 points. You can't even see them scoring 3 at the minute. Chinese alcohol is bad. You're not wrong, Francois. It's generally pretty bad. However, people don't drink it properly. You're not supposed to just drink it. You're supposed to have food with it. Salty food. Don't have chips. I know, I don't have any chips. But I've got that they didn't finish pineapple pizza yesterday, so that's something salty. I'll give this stuff a crack once I get some saltiness in my mouth. Pineapple pizza. The French have actually got the ball in England's half. We've seen this for like 20% of the game, if the stats are correct. Oh, no way. Oh, she was so close. Oh, the French have got over. Unbelievable. They have no chances in this game, and they finally score. Okay, this game may have a grandstanding finish. One shot, one kill, folks. One chance, one try. Oh, score up there. Once that conversion goes over. Oh, yeah, sorry, 13. I forgot to update England. All right, here's to that French try to give us a game. That's actually not bad. That's actually pretty reasonable. And it's a relatively small piece of pizza. I do have big hands, though. England have 13. I forgot to update that one. France have 7. We may have a grandstanding finish. $13-7. Sammy Whitelock sized hands. Maybe not that big. But I was telling Tony I can hold a basketball. I can hold a basketball like that. Not like Michael Jordan sized hands though. Distracted Sports does know all about Sammy Whitelock's hand size. It's true. $15 minutes left. We may get a grandstanding finish. Love the content, it's awesome. Appreciate it, man. This game's been a bit of a drag, but oh, that's a terrible box kick as well. Infante seems to have bucketed her finger by that charge down. I made black pudding, haggis, goat's cheese, and grilled apple slices last night. The missus was well pissed off. She hates goat's cheese. That's quite an array of food options, isn't it? Do I do these often? Like, I wouldn't say often, but they're not rare. Generally, if there's a big game on and it's at a decent time of the night, I will try to do at least one live. Who's got possession right now? The game is stopped. It's kind of typical of this game. Momentum shift, maybe. England's got the ball now. They're about to throw it into a lineup. They're still in French territory, so I wouldn't say they're in like a high risk, but like France legit scored 7 points out of nowhere after not being in this game at all, so you never know. What do you think of Canterbury versus Bay Plenty? I haven't seen it. Been watching this game instead, which is probably not the right choice, but hey, what can I say? World Cup. Novmum secretly wants France to win this game. I kind of don't blame you. They're the underdog for this one. Be nice to see Wellington win it next week, Max, if I had to pick. Canterbury's already got heaps of titles. How many minutes to go? Oh yeah, it's 66 or 67 on the clock for me now. But I'm probably a little bit behind everybody else. Who's the fourth favourite? I think Canada. Canada are the fourth favourite. Post-match trivia. I'm trying to figure out what this voucher's for from my bottle of Baijiu. So this is a hotline you can call for a prize. I'm sure it's legit. Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen the way the draw works, but basically nobody wants to meet England at any of the... Like I said, just call the hotline. What's a Chinese number? But we could call it one of these days. French team's not having a great game. She was the same last week. She was like cold and then hot at the end, so... Like the epitome of a French rugby player, hey? Reckon Italy is on to beat Canada? You might be right. I think I've picked Canada though. Black Ferns to win by 25 or more? I think so as well. I think I picked them by quite a lot. Top two from each pool and then the next two highest competition points. Okay, that's how the pools are working. It is a weird one with 3 pools, you gotta admit. It's not intuitive. Intuitive is top 2 from each pool. Wow, kicked straight down her throat to Druan. It's a better kick. It's one of her better ones of the day. Scarrett's going to have another crack. Run it. No, she kicks it back. We've got a bit of a game of force back. This is not something you see very often in the women's game. Nope. Still down Scarrett's throat. She's going to run it. And she offloads into touch. Goodness gracious. Only negative expansion to 24 teams, Rugby World Cup, would be the dodgy pool situations. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of people seem really keen on the expanded World Cup. I think I would rather see more regular competition for the lower level teams outside the World Cup, eh? Like, I know you give like Namibia a World Cup every 4 years and they get to play their one big set of games, but realistically Namibia I think need more games, eh? Like outside of a World Cup. Nine minutes to go. It's not been the best game I've ever seen, but I watched Stormers and Ospreys this morning, and it was pissing down the whole game. That was 16-all, so like not that different. They had some pretty impressive goal kicks. One really nice try from the Stormers. Hey, more handbags. Joy Neville said she would ping this last time, see if she stands up to, if she sticks to her word. She said she would penalise it. If parenting has taught me anything, you need to follow through when you commit to something, but she seems to have just left it. Okay? Just be careful again. Soft, Joy. Soft. She just kind of played on with the game. Right. With France having a penalty, they get into English territory. Can they get one more kind of try out of nowhere? 75 likes. We're only 5 likes away from 80. Let's do it. 5 likes, people, please. Please. Oh, France had knocked it on. Can we get a like for every knock on? The women's game, we should change the term from handbags to ball bags. I don't know. April's not a fan. Do you ever get recognised in public? Interestingly, today, when I was at the shopping mall, St. Luke's, after I'd just seen Bryn Gatland and I was very pleased that I was taller than him, some guy walked past me in Countdown and was like, "Love your channel, bro," and just walked off. And I was like, "Shut, bro." Good times. Hey, 90 likes. Happy days. Thank you, people. Appreciate the engagement. The YouTube algorithm loves it. World famous in New Zealand. That's probably about it. April 2. I saw Bryn Gatland and I also saw... Do you guys know Jono and Ben? They are 2 comedians here in NZ. I don't know which one it was. I think Ben. I saw Ben also in St. Luke's. So, yeah. I was taller than him as well, but I don't know why I didn't care about that. Maybe he confused me for Destructive Sports. That's true. He didn't say what channel he liked. He just said loved your channel. Ben is the guy from Pulp Sport. Yes, that's the one I saw. He was with his kid, I think. Man, that French 12 makes some big hits, doesn't she, Vernier? She just smashed Emily Scarrett. Saw Paul Holmes once and was surprised how short he was. If you know football, we used to live near Gary Lineker. He's a grump. Never smiled or said hello. Oh, that sucks. $91 likes. Can we get 9 more for $100? Can we? Be nice to get triple-digit likes. They're having a water break. Time in opposition 22. France have had like 8 seconds. So England good as it was made out to be, or is it just France? What's the verdict? England certainly not at their best today. Nowhere near it. But France also defensively very good. A big step up from Fiji last week. These two teams are a different level. Yeah, they've got so many professional players. Although someone commented on one of the videos saying that the French girls are actually like semi-pro. Like all the English media talks about them as being pro, but one of the guys on like a French guy said, no, they're not professional. They're like semi-professional. The English media always reports it wrong. And I was like, okay, take your word for it. I don't know. I just go by what I read. What a French scrum. Goodness gracious me. Oh, but the English have still managed to keep a hold of the ball. Yeah, France are finishing the game a bit stronger, eh? Please explain Le Crunch. I guess it's just the crunch, right? It's a big, like a grudge match. It's a crunch between the two teams. That's where I guess it comes from. I'm making a big old assumption there. Big old one. Best player spotted. My mate saw Emil and Tamak in a brothel in Cardiff. Goodness gracious me. Surely not. That could be libelous comment right there. Christ knows how women hold down jobs plus rugby live babies. Yeah, exactly right. They had they have a series in NZ on Sky called All Access where they do like they follow a player around for a week. And prior to the Black Ferns going professional, they did one on Chelsea Alley. And it like showed her like going to the gym in the morning and then like going to school where she was like a relief teacher. And then after school going to like rugby training. And it was like, man, that sucks. But they don't do that anymore because they've actually got, paid jobs. 3 minutes to go. The Crunch used to be advertising slogan for the French golden delicious apples. Originated in the 80s when only England and France were strong. That sounds a bit more likely. 94 likes. 6 more. 6 more. If you haven't liked, give it a like. 6 more. How much coin are the ladies making? I think I read that the Black Ferns girls are on like what a low-end Super Rugby contract is. I think the top Black Ferns would be on like 100 grand, which is pretty decent money. But then I think the lowest Black Ferns are on like 30 grand, which is not really enough to be considered a full-time employment. I think. I have a bad memory and I read something about it the other day. Right, here goes England's maul. They could put the game to bed with this one. 2 minutes, 2 likes to get, please. Blank ferns don't get a lot. England get much more. Yeah, England certainly, they're going to get a bonus if they win, whereas the Black Ferns girls are not going to get anything if they win. Right, there's 90 seconds to go, and England have got the ball, and France is 22. This feels like all but over. According to staff, New Zealand Rugby will boost player contracts by about 35 grand, meaning Black Ferns contracts will be getting between 60 and 130 grand a year. So that's actually pretty decent money in New Zealand. That's like New Zealand dollars, so it's kind of clown money, but you know what I mean. 100 likes. Cheers, folks. We can drink to that. 11 phases, and England have knocked it on, but not turned over. Oh, what a twit. You can't really pour it with this thing shoved down the middle of it, you man of lacking intelligence. Right. Cheers for a hundy. Thank you, folks. I actually don't mind that one. Doesn't make me gag anyway. Oh, Junaid, no way, bro. Bro, you are a legend. Congrats on the 100 likes. Keep up the good work, bro. I appreciate it. As always, you go above and beyond, bro. This game is done. Thank you, Junaid, man. I'll drink to that again. 55.62 is American dollar dues, which is a lot more than what New Zealand money is worth. That's massive. Oh, and Distracted's getting in. Give us some triv. Some triv. Okay, hold on. I'm making a meal of things. Stupid US conversion rate. I know what you mean, man. I know. Trust me, we know. Cheers, man. And Distracted. Yes, for some trivia. Whew. Maybe it doesn't taste as good. Not too bad. Sports trivia. Sports trivia. Trivia. What can I think of for trivia? Goodness me. My mind is blank. Who scored the first try at the 1987 Rugby World Cup? I think I know. I'm just Googling it. I'm pretty sure I know. I know I would have guessed. Rush says Kerwin, but it's not who I think it is. I don't think it's that. Kerwin scored a famous try against Italy, but I don't think that's who it is. The Iceman. Tarangi says it. That's who I think it was. I'm pretty sure it was Michael Jones. Yep. And Google confirms my thoughts. So, good job, brother. One of the greatest. That was 91? Oh, for Kerwin. Right. I think everyone just sees Kerwin's try against Italy in 87 and thinks that was the first one, but I think that was much later. But anyway. Mark getting drunk equals greater than the rugby. That wasn't the best game you will ever see, but the fact that France scored that try at least gave us something to to kind of watch at the end of the game. So, yeah. There we go. Both 87 and 91 for the Iceman. Bro, what does that guy not do? Michael Jones. What a legend. What an absolute legend. Bonus points in the comp. Yes, Junaid, they do bonus points. So France will have picked up a bonus point for finishing within 7. Obviously, nobody got near a 4-try bonus point. So, yeah. Happy days. Michael Jones was something else. Absolutely. But, yeah. Cheers, everybody. Maybe I can talk distracted into doing a live stream at some point. I'll pop round to his place and drink more of his coffee and more of his beer, like I like to do. But, yeah, cheers for coming along. I got to try the new booze. It's probably my most preferred of the Chinese booze thus far. So, that's good. But, yeah, hope you guys will take care of yourselves. And, yeah, I will hopefully catch you guys again for another one soon. And, yeah, I won't be buying any $7 coffees anytime soon. Cheers, Junaid, man, for the massive 100 likes thingy. That was massive. And Distracted and Randy Viper and Starleo for the tips. Always appreciate it as well. They certainly help out. But, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. And I'll probably do a video on that game because I took notes, so I've got to do something with it. But I can't imagine it'll be the longest video ever because, yeah, it wasn't the prettiest game you'll ever see. But like I said, finished close. Take care. I'll talk to you guys again soon. See you later.